Anywhere I can get a pair of dumbbells, I can do my preacher curl. So I think that versatility makes it extra interesting, especially if we really, really want jacked arms. There's nothing bad about curling every day, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
The preacher curl is one of the most legendary exercises to train your biceps. It is also one of the exercises that is impossible to do bilaterally if you're at home. There is now a solution to that though. It is something called the preacher pad. Now the preacher pad is going to solve the problem or attempt to solve the problem of preacher curls at home by creating a way that you can just do them naturally where you don't need a bench and you don't need anything else. It's going to function in a variety of situations and it's going to save a lot of space for your home gym if it works right. But we're going to take it through its paces now. I'm Ebenezer Samuel, the fitness director here at Men's Health. In each episode of MA Strong, I'll be joined by a fitness expert and we will unbox, test, and rate the latest and greatest fitness gear to determine if it is indeed MA Strong.
So let's go over a few basics. We have vinyl on the outside and high density foam on the inside. It's harder than a mattress, but it's very soft.
And it should be soft, right? If we set up on a preacher bench, we're gonna wanna set up in a nice comfortable position, and we're attempting to replicate that at home with the preacher pad. It's meant to be used in two ways. One, we can just sit in a chair or on this bench like I am, and we can kind of get into the standard preacher curl position and do it. The other way it's meant to be used is on, say, a bench or a chair or even a plyo box. We put the preacher pad on there, then we can set it behind the preacher pad, get a little more length with our spine. So it's a simple device that has two use cases that fills a gap in our training and fills a very specific gap. Now we're going to talk about what we like and what we don't like.
What I like about it is more of a space saver. You don't need to take up floor space with like your usual preacher curl machine. You can sit this right in your lap and curl as you see fit.
Again, this is a home device and you can find different ways to use it in the home. I could do preacher curls on my couch while watching an episode of Game of Thrones or something on Disney Plus because it's that easy. I can take it anywhere, so it's super mobile. Anywhere I can get a pair of dumbbells, I can do my preacher curl. So I think that versatility makes it extra interesting, especially if we really, really want jacked arms. There's nothing bad about curling every day, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
There are some really, really good things about the preacher pad. The fact we can take it anywhere and the fact that we can get more out of the preacher curl as long as we're willing to put ourselves in the correct body position and we let the device get us in that position.
For me, a negative is stability. That's something you have to think about, and as you're putting it on, and you have to worry about if you're stable. You know, I don't want to worry about that. When you try to simplify something, you're also sacrificing something at the same time. If you have the machine, you just turn your settings and then you're right there, you know?
Exactly. When you talk about sacrifice, I think one thing that instantly jumps out at me is that you're sacrificing spinal positioning potentially, especially if we use it in the initial way that they tell us we can use it. Suddenly I feel very hunched over and I feel my lower back rounding. I think if you use it in the secondary way that they suggest, which is putting it on a bench or on a chair or on a plyo box and setting up behind that, we can preserve a little bit of that positioning, but I do worry a little bit about using it in the traditional sense. It is not the way that I would want to do preacher curls with a lot of load. Even just setting up with a pair of 20-pound dumbbells, I feel like I have to find a way to hold the pad down while I grab the other dumbbell, and it just doesn't feel natural. It feels a little bit clunky to me.
Let's talk about who this is really for. I believe this is for somebody who really cares about biceps. This is just for like a one-dimensional piece of equipment.
It's really critical, I think, to understand that it really is only for that one exercise. It's for bilateral preacher curl. So if you want to get your upper arm away from your torso and you don't want to do spider curls and you really, really have to do it as a preacher curl, then it's for you. I think the thing people have to think about with the preacher curl in general is if you're fine to do single arm preacher curls, then look to a bench maybe instead, because any incline bench, you can just do your single arm preacher curls. So it's for one exact person. If you want to do bilateral preacher curls at home, you're covered with this and you can take this anywhere in your house and get your bilateral preacher curls done. So now the MH Strong rating, how does this fit in for the average person just looking to train? I'm gonna give this a 5. I think it's a really, really good device that fills a gap, and I like that about it, but it's also limiting. It's not the kind of device that you have to have in your home gym because it's only filling exactly one motion. So if you want to hit that motion, it's great, but there's not much more to it.
My MH Strong rating is a 2 because of the fact that it's only for one exercise and one exercise only, and only for bilateral. It's not really good for unilateral. I would say just a 2 because of that.
What do you guys think of this device? Would you buy it? Let us know in the comments.